You're right, everyone. Alright. Good morning, good afternoon. I have called in this meeting today because wait karo. Where is our chai? We can't have this meeting without drinking chai. Why are we not outside? It's so sunny.
Excuse me?
Isidora's accent is unbearable. We need to do something about it. She can't keep switching between Indian, Brazilian and British. It's just not okay. Whoa. Let's stop you right there. My accent is beautiful. It's a cultural mix and I'm not gonna change, okay? So let me tell you guys how I got this accent because I'm not changing it.
Let's start from the beginning. I grew up in a tiny town in Brazil. And when I say tiny, we didn't even have a cinema, okay? The entertainment was weekend barbecue or going to the local ice cream shop. Chiquinhos. My friends, Brazilian friends will know it. My granddad was a farmer. Dad was a barber. Family came from very simple, humble background. And honestly, that feels very similar to India, okay? Hardworking families, big sacrifices. And then my mum studied her ass off. She got herself a scholarship for a PhD in the UK. And then suddenly everything changed. I arrived in Scotland and I remember sitting in the taxi and that song was playing in my head. Making my way downtown, walking fast. And that felt so cinematic. Like literally all the buildings I'd ever seen in this cinema were there. I'm sure you guys have experienced that as well. But let's talk about arriving in Scotland. What an accent to arrive into. I thought everyone in the UK would sound like the Queen. Hello darling, would you like a cup of tea? Which I'm sure lots of you also had this expectation. But the reality was, you right lass, want some haggis? Which was so Scottish and I was so shocked. As I said, the buildings were beautiful. The architecture was beautiful. My school looked like the school in Matilda. So suddenly I was inside the movies, which felt amazing. But then, the food. Beans on toast. Let's talk about beans on toast, yeah? In Brazil, beans are sacred. We cook it for hours and we eat it with rice, with the family, with love. In UK, somebody said, can't be bothered. Let's just pot a toast, chuck a can of beans on it, and that's it. So beans on toast honestly feels like the laziest, sloppiest food in the entire world. But whoa, British people, don't start insulting me just yet. I do love the full English breakfast. Like I love hash browns, I love mushrooms. That is a 10 out of 10. So yeah, there was the lazy beans on toast, but there was the yummy full breakfast, full English breakfast. But going back to the language aspect, no one prepared me for the British slang, okay? Up in Scotland, a wee bit, you're right. And down south, you're right, babes. Innit? Apples and pears. Bob is your uncle. Who is Bob? So now you can start to understand why my accent is a mess. And Scotland has some of it to blame. Then I moved down south to study acting. And suddenly I lived with every single nationality. I shared houses with Africans, Norwegians, Germans, Indians. And that's why I know so many cultural hacks. You learn fast when you live with other people. And I became independent quite quickly because mum went back to Brazil and I was left all alone in the UK. And then 3 years ago, I met my Indian partner. Bloody hell. What's a cultural shock? Let me show you guys what my cupboard looked like before and after dating an Indian boyfriend, okay? Because why does Indians need 47 masalas? I survived on oregano, salt, and olive oil for years. Talking about olive oils, how similar are Italians and Indians precious about their oil? Like, Indians love their ghee and Italians will defend their olive oils to death. Now, ever since dating an Indian guy, another cultural shock has been meeting the Indian in-laws, which I already spoke a bit about on my previous video. But if you've seen this skit of mine, darling, I can't wait to get to know you better. I brought some board games and some wine, so we're gonna have a fun night. Betta, bring her some chai. Here you go, daughter. So tell me, when do you want to get married? Before, I could simply turn out with a bottle of wine, be ready to play some board games, and now remove the shoes, touch the feet. So much protocol, so many layers, and no alcohol involved. But honestly, I've never felt so much love in my life. What a love-giving culture. So, why is my accent so confusing? Why do I randomly sound British, then Brazilian, then a bit Indian? Because I am kind of all three now. And honestly, I wouldn't change it. Now you guys tell me in the comments what culture accidentally changed you into what you are today. Bye-bye!